This is blue. And this is blue. And this, they're blue. Those are blue. He's blue. Not that blue. 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 Blue, 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 blue. Blue. No, they're not blue. That's blue. Really blue. Say hello to our juicy new drinks. Dinner on the bright.
Mega deals and then some at Curry's World.
Save £100 on this Lenovo C240 laptop with an Intel Pentium processor and 128GB fast start SSD storage, now just $349. This cartridge-free Epson EcoTank has enough ink to print up to 4,500 black and white pages and 7.5 in colour. Just £150 at Curry's PC World.
This is Alan. He's an equity release advisor with Age Partnership, and he loves his job. Through rain or shine, he helps people access the money they've built up in their home. Alan gets to explain to homeowners over 55 how they can release tax-free money from their home, how they would not have to repay the money until they passed away or moved into long-term care, and how they would clear any existing mortgage. Speak to Age Partnership to request your free guide on 0880 555 888 or use our equity release calculator at agepartnership.co.uk. And if you call to have your free no-obligation quotation before the end of August, we'll give you a £25 gift card.
A new Jaguar F-Pace doesn't dance to clip-hop, but you can rent it from only 6.
Yeah,
for sure.
It was up here. I read it.
Well, all 3 rebounds were offense. So you were right.
By default.
Yeah. But you actually get it in the box score here, which is the NBA announcers have complained about this too.
Yeah, that's kind of like that is a huge
Big
part
thing.
of it.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Tiffany Hayes going for three-point play for the Dream in support of WNBA breast health awareness. Visit WNBA.com/assess risk and put awareness into action to reduce your risk of breast and ovarian cancers. All right, so the three-point play converted by Hayes, and the Dream, despite shooting 7% from the floor, only trail by 4.
Yeah, the 1 for 14 is certainly alarming, but the glass half full, Mike, is they've only attempted 2 3-point shots, which means they understand the scout to attack and get inside, get to the lane, and they have not veered from that, right? They're not bailing out by just chucking up threes because they're thinking, oh, we got to score. They're still sticking to the game plan, and that is very important for Atlanta.
Well, that is glass half full. Glass half empty is the foul on Gulich, which puts Atlanta over the limit with 4:14 still to go in the first quarter, and 2 foul shots here for Brittany Griner, who is 82% on the year from the line, leads the league in scoring at 20.5 points per game, second in blocks at 2 per game, and her foul shots give the Mercury a 10-4 lead.
You cannot hack a shot against Brittany Griner because it just doesn't work. She hits the free throws, and she's so physically dominant. Not fun to play, fun to watch.
Same group out of the timeout for the Dream. This is Bentley. And that one rolls out for Hayes. The rebound for Bonner, who was out there with Griner, Mitchell, January, and Essence Carson has come into the game as well for the Mercury. Griner posting on Gulich. Bonner, misfiring on the 3. And the Dream now with an opportunity to get this back to 4 or 3. Bentley with a 3. Wild. Another rebound by Bonner.
Yeah, and that almost looked like it would have been a long 2. I would have loved to see Alex Bentley take another dribble, get her feet set on that pull-up she loves so much.
The Griner throws that one away. All the struggles from the floor early on for the Dream, shooting only 6%, 1 of 16, but only trailing by 6.
Well, Nikki Collins from day one says if we can sit down and defend and get stops, we can always stick in games.
Alex Bentley had a good couple games coming off the road trip, misfiring again. The Dream now 1 for 17, but the Dream will maintain possession.
Atlanta wanted that over-the-back call. I thought Brittany Gulich did a great job of establishing position, and Griner certainly went tough for that rebound. Some contact inside, but they'll have to just get another look at the hoop here.
Gulich broke into the league with Phoenix last year as a rookie, averaged a 1.5 per game for them. A 3 by Hayes, 1 for 18 now. The Dream to start the game, and they do not get that rebound. It'll be Phoenix ball.
Yeah, if there's one person who might know how to box out Griner, it might be Marie Gulich, because she got to practice against her a lot. She didn't get a whole lot of minutes because of who she was playing behind, but you've got to remember, Mike, every day in practice, she was in there banging with Griner and Bonner and Camille Little and the bigs of this Mercury team.
Yeah, welcome to the WNBA, right? And now an offensive foul on Phoenix, so the Dream can't make a shot. Phoenix, though, already with 3 turnovers.
Ooh, and how about that? Griner trying to clear out Gulich. Gulich understands where to get her feet, how to kind of discourage that pass and be a little bit physical. That's exactly how Atlanta has to play. You're not going to stop Brittany Griner, but you can try to slow her down or challenge her.
Next foul will put Phoenix over the limit. Gulich misfiring. Another rebound now. The 12th of the first quarter for Phoenix, but another pass that's knocked out. And the Mercury will maintain possession.
Sandy Brondello, you've got to just grin when your 6'9" center is getting looks in transition running to the rim.
They run a side out of bounds play for Griner as well. Mitchell. I think Atlanta will be content to let Griner catch out there. Mitchell now mishandling it, and it's knocked out. It will still be Phoenix ball with 8 on the shot clock as they bring Camille Little into the game, the 12th-year player from North Carolina. That'll give Griner her first rest of the night.
And these types of sets are tougher for Atlanta a lot easier when Grinder's not in the game, right? Because out of bounds, you know where that ball's going. But this is where they have to take advantage and get those stops.
Good D by Bentley, forcing a wild shot by Bonner. And the Dream again, only down 6 despite being 1 for 19 from the floor as Bentley has it. That's a 2 for Bentley. The Dream now 1 for 20. Billings somehow comes up with a rebound. Hayes to Gulich. And it's down to a 4-point game.
Hey, Monique Billings should get a point off of that one. Tremendous hustle to give her team that opportunity.
The veteran Essence Carson going in on Gulich and drawing a foul. Well, Essence Carson is one of the members of that Phoenix MASH unit that has included Taurasi this year. Carson, such a solid pro, 11th year player from Rutgers. Does a good job here drawing the foul on Gulich.
Man, she injured her calf on the 20th of July. They thought she'd be out 6 to 8 weeks, hoping to have her back for playoffs. And so very encouraging. She's getting in game, she's getting opportunities to get out there, get up and down the court, and so that by the time playoffs hit, assuming they clinch that 8th spot at some point, she's going to feel a lot more comfortable on the court. She brings a tremendous amount of experience to the roster.
Taurasi and Turner have come back in for Phoenix, so they're out there with January, Carson, Little, Turner, and Taurasi. Carson makes both foul shots, and the Phoenix lead is 12-6. Well, a win tonight by Phoenix would get them back to the 500 mark, and as we've told you, would clinch a playoff berth for them. It's a good look by Bentley to Hayes. Good ball movement by the Dream, but again they come up empty. Gulich, another offensive rebound. Bentley for 3. The Dream now 0 for 5 from 3, but another offensive rebound. And Hayes is able to earn a jump ball. Well, if the shots aren't going to fall, you at least want to see the hustle on the offensive glass, and the Dream have done a pretty good job there. 3rd in the league in offensive rebounds coming into tonight, and nearly 10 a game.
Well, Monique Billings, a big reason why. It is what she's done all season. In her 2nd year, she did not play. She struggled with a little bit of injury mid-August, and they dropped 2 games at Vegas and then at Phoenix that were close. And I believe if she was in those games, they may have walked away with 2 wins because they were so close. She would have given them a couple second chance opportunities.
Well, Billings won the drum ball, but Gulich was unable to control. And now here's Taurasi bringing it up for Phoenix as we come down on 1 minute to go in the opening quarter. Well, that's a good look by Carson to Little.
Oh, spin and fade away. Let's take 2 power moves and put them in 1. Wow, that was a nice finish.
8-point Phoenix lead. Alex Bentley will pull up from there. She says her pull-up is her favorite shot. She does not make that one. Another offensive rebound for Atlanta. Hayes on Carson. Hayes. This is short. And it's Gulich now with the deflection. Coffee for 3. The Dream now 2 for 26 from the floor, and Phoenix, with the shot clock off, will get the last shot here in the first quarter. It's been a nightmare start for the Dream in terms of shooting. But Phoenix has not necessarily pulled away. Taurasi with the kick out to Carson. Carson. And the Dream only trail by single digits despite going 2 for 26 from the floor in the first quarter. Phoenix 14, Atlanta 6. are you feeling?
I'm fine. Are you
Good.
okay?
I'm great,
Okay.
yeah. Well,
That's not. Yeah, I think that's a different one. Yeah. I don't know.
season winding down for both the Mercury and the Dream, but still home games to come for Atlanta. The Dream return home next Thursday, September 5th, to host the Las Vegas Aces at 7:30 p.m. Don't miss this late season matchup with one of the top teams of the WNBA. Get your tickets by calling 877-977-7729 or visit www.atlantadream.net. And how about a 5-second violation to begin the second quarter for the Dream?
Yeah, that's certainly not a good start, especially on your home court.
Well, the story of the first quarter, the shooting, the Dream just 2 for 26. The Mercury not much better, 3 for 12. If you want to look at the glass half full, though, the Dream did have 8 offensive rebounds in the first quarter. Oh, a good job at control and score by Camille Little.
And that makes that 5-second call for Atlanta so much worse. You give the ball back right under their own hoop, and they score on it. And so those are the ones at the end of the night that you have a tougher time going to sleep with.
Here is Sykes for the Dream. Another miss. Sykes, Montgomery, Coffey, Gulich, and Billings for Atlanta to begin the second quarter. This is Sophie Cunningham with the game's first three-pointer.
How about that? Coming in, immediate impacts. Hasn't always gotten the opportunities this season. That's how you get more opportunities.
Cunningham, the rookie out of Missouri, who is shooting just 11% from three this year. The Dream do come back to cut the deficit to 19-8. Coffey with her first basket of the game. Coffey coming over in a trade from Las Vegas. This is Turner for Phoenix. Cunningham back to Turner. Another three. This time too strong. And the Dream, who are controlling the glass, that is their 19th rebound of the game. They're out rebounding Phoenix 19-14.
Well, there's been a lot of opportunities for them to get some rebounds, and especially on the offensive end. 10 offensive rebounds, but only 2 points off of them, Mike. And so that's something that they've got to focus on, converting those opportunities.
And the Dream give it away late in the shot clock. Turner in transition for Phoenix. Trying to expand on their 11-point lead. Diana Taurasi, Cunningham now going baseline. That's good defense by the Dream, and they're going to call a foul on Phoenix.
Renee Montgomery did a great job just sliding her body in the middle, and the much longer Turner tried to get the tip. Yeah, extended the arm, and you know, if you're Atlanta, you want more flow, but you certainly take those types of calls right now and help you kind of take a deep breath and get set on the other end.
So that's 2 fouls on Turner. Atlanta with Gulich and Breland playing on 2 fouls. 19-8 with 8 minutes to go in the first half, and there's a good drive by Montgomery to draw a foul.
That was interesting. Turner was denying Montgomery's right hand and forcing her to go left, but overplayed it so much that Renee Montgomery essentially had a straight line to the hoop, and that's just a veteran saying, okay, that's what you're going to give me, I'm going to take it.
2 shots here for Renee Montgomery. Missing the first. Montgomery in her 10th year out of UConn, who is one of 13 WNBA players all time with more than 500 three-point field goals. 87% foul shooter on the year, so that's a rare miss. Griner is back in for Phoenix after about a 5-minute break. And Montgomery rarely misses both. Breland, though, the rebound. The 11th offensive rebound for Atlanta. Breland will shoot from there late in the shot clock. And the defensive rebound goes to the Mercury with Turner.
Again, Mike just not able to convert on those opportunities.
That was good defense by Breland. She started that play, and the Dream come away with a turnover and then a foul by Turner in the backcourt.
Yvonne Turner is really trying to challenge Renee Montgomery in the open court and get up there. Montgomery's doing a great job handling that pressure, though, and baiting some quick fouls. And speaking of handling pressure, how about the rookie Maite Cazorla for Atlanta in the game? You've got to watch her because she's been so fun all year. She sees every opportunity in the games that she's gotten, and I just love watching her play. I can't wait to see. I wish I had a crystal ball to see what she looks like in 5 years from now.
She continues to get more playing time. The rookie out of Oregon, who is averaging 3 points per game. Phoenix will be over the limit on the next foul, so if the Dream can't make field goals, at least they would have an opportunity from the foul line. A long way to go here in the second quarter. Breland, another missed field goal. It's going to stay with the Dream.
Yeah, another opportunity here for Atlanta.
And the Dream, 3 for 30 to start the game. Down by 11, though.
Well, I asked Nikki Collin at the beginning of the game, I said, this is gut check time for your team. Well, this is gut check time for the game, because this has been a nightmare shooting-wise for Atlanta.
Montgomery puts it on pause for a moment, and the Dream back within 9.
Yeah, but this is where Atlanta, you've got to let the entire season kind of go upstairs mentally and lock in to each possession at a time. I think they're getting pretty decent shots. As Little fires that one. That's why I say you should not have a beverage in your hand when you're sitting courtside, because nobody wants to see a nice cold beverage wasted. And here it is. Montgomery doing a great job against Turner, challenging her and finding the rim that time.
So here is Cazorla now for Atlanta, trying to hang in, down by 9. Three-pointer by Montgomery. And Griner is able to tip it out to Sancho Little. And now Diana Taurasi will bring it up for Phoenix. Another Mercury turnover. So that's 7 turnovers now for Phoenix. But Atlanta only has 2 points off those turnovers as Mitchell comes back in.
And if you're Phoenix, obviously it's not fun to watch right now, but you have got to believe getting players integrated and healthy. Diana Taurasi in there. Cunningham doesn't get a whole lot. So Sandy Brondello obviously needs to win to clinch playoffs, or Indiana and Dallas have to lose. She's also got to think about not just the win, but the postseason and making sure her team can get on the same page. So obviously that type of turnover, not fun to watch, but you live with it in the sense that you've got to figure it out.
So Taurasi missing the 3, Elizabeth Williams with the rebound, and here come the Dream now in transition with Sykes. Montgomery, 10 to shoot for Atlanta, and Montgomery with the pull-up. So Renee Montgomery with 4 points now, and the Dream are within 7 all of a sudden, trailing 19-12.
Taurasi, a little frustrated with Montgomery.
And Sancho Little scores. First points of the game for Sancho Little, is averaging 3.5 per game. Phoenix back up by 9. That ball somehow finds its way to Breland, who's too strong on the jumper. Another offensive rebound, and again a missed opportunity at second chance points. Good job by Sykes in transition defense, and that's off Taurasi. And the Dream will have the ball, somehow trailing by single digits, despite shooting 5 for 36 from the floor. But Montgomery is helping to keep the Dream in this. More in a moment. This is not good history.
Oh, no.
Yeah, how it's been good,
Yeah.
and how they've kind of...
Yeah.
Where are they? Oh, yeah, we don't get the offensive rebound.
It's coming. It's probably 13 or 14 by now. Thank you. But what kills you is the second chance points.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm just devastated over that right now.
Golly, 12 offensive rebounds.
But 4 points. Where did I put my highlighter? I lost my highlighter. Oh, there it is. I got it. It's hiding.
Nightmare starting shooting performance for the Dream. 14% from the floor, but only trailing by 9 out of this timeout. Sykes, Breland, Williams, Montgomery, and Cazorla for Atlanta, and this is Montgomery with the ball. Got a good screen by Williams, but Williams unable to finish at the rim. Griner the rebound.
I thought Atlanta played that pick and roll. They baited Griner, who sagged a bit, and tried to get that pass off just on time.
And Bonner, who's back in the game. Montgomery got a piece. Another Phoenix turnover there, 9th of the first half. But only 2 points off for Atlanta. Breland missing wildly, and Cunningham another rebound for Phoenix. We'll go down to Bonner. A good look by Taurasi, and Bonner is able to finish. She has 7 points. It's interesting to see the Dream struggling so much shooting from the floor as Montgomery jacks up a 3 and makes it. First three-pointer of the game for Atlanta. And Montgomery has 7. But the last 3 games, Amy, 2 of them on the road, the Dream have actually shot the ball pretty well. This is, I guess, a regression back to the mean for them tonight, as Griner makes one in low.
Yeah, back to your point, Mike, it's the mental game, right? And this is, every time you talk to the players or you talk to Nikki Collin, that word has come up a lot this year, is just mentally trying to get over that shooting hump. You can look at it in the season, you can look at it tonight and keep it compacted to one game. Struggling to score and just needing to lock in and kind of forget the last possession and move on to the next one. Renee Montgomery is keeping them somewhat alive right now, and that's your vet. That's your 11th year vet and your leader. So at least for Atlanta, she's providing that type of leadership tonight.
All right, so the foul there by Phoenix is their 5th of the quarter. Atlanta will be shooting the rest of the way, and Cazorla makes her first foul shot, an 86% foul shooter.
And that's important, Mike. Atlanta, in some ways, obviously struggling to score, a bit of an understatement right now, but utilize their athleticism, draw some fouls. Hey, if you need to slow the game down right now and make a couple from the free throw line, that's okay. It's only an 8-point game right now.
And Cazorla has kept the Dream from setting a dubious record, the fewest amounts of points they've ever had in any half in franchise history is 17, which was at Chicago in July of 2008. Gulich hit for the foul there, and that's the second of the quarter for Atlanta.
As she tried to, I call that smash the flash, jump in front of Griner, cutting to the ball. Ouch, first of all, just to even try to do that. But again, you almost take those fouls because it's not a clean catch underneath.
Three-pointer by Mitchell. And the rebound, a strong one by Bonner to spot Griner. And Montgomery's able to control the rebound. Gulich, by the way, is playing with 3 fouls now for Atlanta.
And Billings and Montgomery fighting over that rebound. I'll tell you something, as a coach, at least you've got 2 as opposed to none being aggressive for the ball.
Montgomery, how about this? All of a sudden now a 6-point game. And Montgomery has 9 points. Timeout called by Phoenix. Well, the persistent Atlanta Dream, just 7 of 40 from the floor, somehow within 6. More in a moment. So Renee Montgomery, a game-high 9 points, and she has kept the Dream alive here, down by only 6.
Yeah, obviously the points are important, but it's the intangibles. I mean, those points are in direct correlation with her leadership by example tonight. But, I mean, this is when we talk about locking in mentally, you need your leaders. And she is an extension of a coaching staff on the court. If you watch her in practice, she's always on the same page with her coaches. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see her come off the floor much tonight, Mike, by the way things are going.
The crazy thing about Montgomery, Amy, she is 4 for 6 from the floor. Her teammates are 3 for 34. Think at 3 for 35 as Gulich misses from distance. But the Dream only down by 6 as we come down on 2 minutes to go in the first half. Remember, Phoenix needing to win this to clinch a playoff spot. Bonner misses wildly. Gulich the rebound.
And Bonner wanted the call on that. I think she's got to just slow it down a little, understanding who's on her and not slowing down. That's a great pass as Bonner was slow to get up and get down the court. There was a numbers advantage for Atlanta. And so that's nice because that's Atlanta just doing the right thing. That I don't want to say easy, but just the right easy thing to do was make that pass and finish the layup.
That's the first basket of the game for Billings. Suddenly a 4-point game. And another missed 3 for the Mercury. Phoenix now 1 for 11 from the three-point line. Dream can cut it down to a one-possession game here.
Oh, yeah, that was a great handoff from Gulich, too. Perfect timing. And look at the mismatch now. That ball's got to go one of two places.
Montgomery for 3.
Yeah.
It's a 1-point game.
She's got to shoot that or they got to reverse it to Gulich inside. But, I mean, you look at the stats and what Montgomery's doing. That is the right read.
12 for Montgomery in the first half. January now for Phoenix. As we come down on a minute to play in the first half. Bonner in traffic. Good finish.
Yeah, and that's coming. Technical on Bonner. And I was surprised when that didn't happen right away because of her reaction. Atlanta's being very physical, but you see the switch. Renee, this is, again, a high-level read in terms of from a veteran saying, all right, I'm hitting him tonight. I got Brittany Griner on me. She's a couple feet off me. You got to rise and fire on that.
So Montgomery will shoot the technical. And the Dream now down by 2. Montgomery boiling hot from the field, but that was the first foul shot she's made. She's now 1 for 3. Here was the technical, by the way, after Bonner made the basket.
And I understand Bonner's frustration in that Atlanta is being very physical with her. She's driving and getting to the rim. At the same time, I thought both defenders played pretty good. It's a physical game inside, as this league is well aware of at this season at this point.
Goal is trying to find Montgomery down low. There is a turnover for Atlanta, their 6th of the half. Phoenix can try for a 2-for-1 here if they move quickly, and they do. Turner is able to score. And the Mercury back up by 4.
So impressed with Turner's ability to move off of the players such as Griner and Bonner that she's worked with. You really starting to see that chemistry click now at this point of the season for the rookie. And she's surrounded by some nice passers who want to make those types of plays. So her activity off ball has been great. That makes Muffet McGraw very happy to see her plethora of seniors go on and have some nice impacts in the league in their rookie years.
Nikki Collin opting to use a timeout. Now the Atlanta Hawks.
Speaking of rookies.
Yeah, right. They have a very promising rookie class, and some of them are here tonight.
Promising, but no pressure. I mean, look what the women rookies are doing. We're talking about Maite. We're talking about Brianna Turner.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a fun year for Hawks fans as well, right here at State Farm Arena.
Yeah, their season will begin on October the 24th. Very important game tonight for the Mercury. We have already kind of outlined the scenario. They look safe to make the playoffs, and they can get there with a win tonight. They have one game left on this road trip in Chicago, and then they finish out the schedule at home. This is not a team I would want to play in the playoffs as they get healthy.
Single elimination. You have got tremendous basketball players along with experience and the opportunities that they're having to get back into playing shape from those injuries. They're not going to be fun in the playoffs. And you look what happened to them last year, losing in the semis at Phoenix, but playing the best basketball was Phoenix and Seattle. And unfortunately, because of obviously the way the playoffs are divided, they lost in the semis, and Seattle went on to roll in the finals. It's not going to happen this year.
Montgomery called for the moving screen, and now Phoenix with about a 4-second differential, game clock to shot clock, with a chance to build on their 4-point lead. And another foul, this time on Tiffany Hayes, and Atlanta will be over the limit now. Phoenix will get foul shots here with 15 seconds to play in the half.
Yeah, Hayes frustrated, but she's got to be a little bit careful with her reactions. They teed up Bonner for her zealous reaction to her foul call, and Tiffany's definitely given up a couple herself this season. So
Sandy Brundella will call timeout. This is a strategy you often see in the NBA, by the way. You don't necessarily have the ability to carry these timeouts into the second half. So the playoff picture for Phoenix coming into tonight, it's pretty straightforward. They can win or they can get some help. And Dallas and Indiana both have very tough games themselves tonight.
Very, very tough games. For us, unfortunately, we won't be able to have a final answer during our show because the Dallas at Chicago starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you're Phoenix, you know you have a good shot of clinching that 8th spot, but you don't want to put your destiny in other teams' hands. You want to handle business. You want to feel good, get a road win. This is an East Coast trip for them, right? And so at New York, here tonight, at Chicago, that's a tough place to play. And so as much as the focus is getting the rotations, getting players healthy and back in game shape, bottom line, you want to win the game.
And it feels like 4 games left after tonight, that is enough time for Taurasi, who's coming back from injury, to get comfortable, kind of get back into the full swing of things. Mitchell has the ball, about a half-second differential, game clock to shot clock. 5 to shoot for Mitchell. Dribbling on Gulich. Gulich with the block, and it's a shot clock violation.
And they're going to have to review that clock or put a couple more seconds on. It was a little bit slow.
It's not going to be much time left for the Dream.
You know what? That's a win for Atlanta because end of the quarter here, that ball didn't go to Brittany Griner out of a play. You take anyone else taking that shot at this point. And Leilani Mitchell driving into the paint. That chances were good for Atlanta.
Well, they put 4.5 back on the clock, but that is way too much.
I
sure
believe
the Dream won't complain.
I believe the official wanted 0.5 or 1.5. There you go.
That's still enough time to run a set, though.
Quick hitters. Atlanta's got some nice quick hitters.
The Dream trying to cut it down to 2 or 1 at halftime, and it will be Hayes from half court. That won't count. But a big response for the Dream after an ice-cold start from the floor. Renee Montgomery willing this team back into it. 13 first-half points for her. And the Atlanta Dream, in search of their first 3-game winning streak all year, find themselves trailing Phoenix by 4 at halftime. The Mercury 29, the Dream 25. More after this from State Farm Arena. So a low-scoring first half, 13 points by Renee Montgomery, and the Dream trailing Phoenix by 4 in a game that Phoenix can punch a ticket to the playoffs if they win. Alex Bentley played 5 minutes in the first half, was 0 for 7 earlier tonight. Amy had a chance to catch up with her.
All right, Alex, double-digit scoring in 6 of the last 8 games. Why is your offense clicking so well now?
I just think I'm more in a rhythm right now. Early on in the season, I was struggling, I think mentally more than anything else, so I just started to finally catch my rhythm. Better late than never.
We talked to the coach. We can look at the numbers and the stats, but you guys have now pulled out 2 close games on the road. In your opinion, why was your team able to walk away with the W's?
We're just getting it after it. You know, we're getting after it at the end of the game. During the season, we've been struggling to get over that hump towards the end of games, and these past 2, we're just trying to focus and get the win, so and that's what we did.
As a guard, it doesn't matter. You're going on against Brittany Griner tonight, one of the more dominant post players. How can you still help your team slow her down a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, she's going to get her points. I mean, she's BG. She's basically unstoppable, so we just have to try and make it hard for her, honestly, and we're going to score on the other end on her, so we'll be all right.
Speaking of this, let's go back to you for a second, though. You know, we've seen you hit some big threes, step-ups, you come off screens. What's your favorite way to score the basketball?
Definitely my pull-up jumper. That's my go-to for sure. I've loved it since high school, you know, since middle school, so it's my go-to.
We love it, too.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And we're going to see a lot more after the second half coming right up to you guys.
The points off turnovers, only 2 points off 9 turnovers. Phoenix is not playing that great either.
No, they're not, but they're like, I really think like because they're trying to get some players like integrate, even like Sophie Cunningham, who really hasn't played a lot, is out there. So she's trying to do 2 things at once. She's trying to win a game, but she's also trying to prepare for, you know, get some of her keys back in shape and rotation. Yeah, that's what I'm...
Rondello can kind of test some things out here.
Yeah, well, she even said it about, like, keeping Tarazi in the game at New York because she had to, or...
She doesn't have to tonight.
She tightening the lineup up, but... I like it because I don't have to wear any like anything else.
So the Mercury with some work to do to punch their ticket to the playoffs tonight and to win their 4th game in their last 6. The Dream trailing by 4 as they go for their first 3-game winning streak of the season. This has been a weird one. Obviously, the ice cold field goal shooting for both teams, but then you look at it, the Dream have a ton of offensive rebounds. They haven't really converted them into any points. 9 turnovers for Phoenix, not a lot of points off for Atlanta. What do you make of this?
It's the juggernaut. I mean, it's been tough for Atlanta this season, and I think this one's even tougher because they're feeling pretty good coming back to State Farm Arena off those 2 road wins. But like you said, it's converting. You have 12 offensive rebounds and 4 points. And that's tough. And so you're just eating up clock in a close game that you might need later. You've got to start converting. Atlanta's also shooting only just over 20% from the field, right? They've attempted, 43 field goals. They're playing at a high clip. And so
for the 4-point game, if you're Nikki Collin, I will say I don't think their shots have been too crazy. I think they've taken some pretty nice shots. Just like they've done all season, Atlanta's got to keep their head down, stay focused, and believe the next one's going in.
Do you think Sandy Brondello is concerned about the low-scoring nature of this first half, or more pleased that she's able to integrate some players into her group that she's going to have to rely on in the playoffs?
I don't think Sandy Brondello feels very pleased right at this moment right now, but I think she, you look at her career, it's illustrious, and what she's done for this game. She knows she's doing two things tonight. She's trying to win a basketball game, but she's also trying to do the very hard task of getting those players reps, and so you live with some of the turnovers and the sloppiness. If you are Phoenix, you've got to be confident knowing the weapons you have and understanding the next 20 minutes, maybe more dedicated to getting that win.
This is probably not a stat sheet that is going to be cast in gold as we look at the first half stats brought to you by WellCare. 21% from the floor for Atlanta. It's not like Phoenix has been much better. Both teams ice cold from three. It really has been the offensive rebounding that has kept Atlanta afloat, and the fact that Phoenix got into the penalty pretty early in the second quarter, so that gave Atlanta 5 points from the foul line. Points in the paint, 16-10 in favor of Phoenix. I think if you told Nikki Collin that would be the case coming into it, facing Brittany Griner, you'd probably be fairly happy with that.
Well, Phoenix averages over 30 points in the paint, and so they're right there. And you're, like you said, with Brittany Griner, if you're just going to get your average, okay, you're all right with that.
Second half after this, Phoenix leading Atlanta 29-25. You having fun?
Yeah, are you?
Good, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. It's hard. It's hard with the shooting. Like, I hope you're having fun.
No, oh God, hey, listen, I love doing it. Well, we got a close game as we get set to start the third quarter. Phoenix, after racing out to a 13-point lead, Atlanta has cut their deficit to just 4. Here were some highlights from the first half. Camille Little, a couple good looks in low. That was DeWanna Bonner for Phoenix. And Diana Taurasi finding Bonner there. Taurasi in only the 4th game she's been able to play this season due to injury. Brittany Griner, limited to just 6 points in the first half for Phoenix. They were able to post her up a few times, and she was able to finish a couple times. And Taurasi, again, able to find Little down low. 4 points for Camille Little in the first half. Essence Carson, who's been part of that mash unit as well for Phoenix, finding Little here. So like I said, 4 points for Little. The story in the first half for the Dream, as Amy told you, wide open looks, just missing. Alex Bentley with a miss here. That's another good look. And again, the Dream just 9 for 43 from the floor in the first half. Breland with a pretty good look here, and she misses, but then it was Renee Montgomery-Amy who took over.
Yeah, and you saw shots that they have to take. Atlanta's got to take those shots to keep the defense honest. Renee Montgomery just making some of the right reads, high-level reads off screens, wide open. Renee Montgomery's, what people probably know her the best for is her three-point shooting ability. And so going 2 for 3 from the line in that first half was big time for Atlanta. They needed that. They needed her to get a little bit hot, find some rhythm, and really hope that goes through to the second half, because like you said, as poor as the shooting has been for Atlanta, they've taken some pretty good shots. They're doing okay. It's a 4-point game.
It is going to even out at some point, right? Like the basketball gods are going to exercise their will at some point. You have to feel. I know it's been that kind of season for Atlanta. It's been a very, very tough shooting season, but at some point, when you get open looks like that, you're going to make them, aren't you?
Yeah, and I mean, Nikki Collin talked about that before the game. She said, last season, when they were this Atlanta team was 1 game away from a WNBA Finals appearance. They were 18-0 when they had leads going into the fourth quarters. They finished those games off. This year, not so much. They only have 7 wins on the season, but they've had a lot of fourth quarter leads. And so Nikki Collins says it's going to even out.
Right.
At some point, it has got to even out.
What'd she tell us earlier tonight? 18 converted fourth quarter leads last year, practically none this year. Maybe next year they get to 10, and that would be okay. The Mercury about to punch their tickets to the playoffs, and it might only take 15 wins for them. The Dream can still finish out the season with 10 or more wins to get to double digits. Obviously, they had a very, very good season last year. It's been a disappointing year, but to get to double digits, that is kind of an important morale booster.
And also, let's not forget, these are professional athletes. This is their job. They're certainly not throwing the towel in. They want to execute. They want to listen to what their coaches have to say, and they want to go out there and give maximum effort, because Nikki Collin continues to talk about effort, energy, and maximum effort. Those are the most important things, and they are not going to let their coach down in those areas.
She was the coach of the year last year in the WNBA. In many ways, this feels like this has been a more difficult coaching job for Nikki Collin here in 2019 because of all the adversity this team has dealt with. And for Sandy Brondello, in her 6th year, she has never missed the playoffs, and a win tonight will keep that streak going for yet another year. Second half is underway. Both teams back with their initial starters, including Williams for Atlanta, and another miss in low. It is Williams with Sykes, Breland, Hayes, and Montgomery for the Dream here in the second half.
Yeah, it's another miss for Atlanta, but it's everything they want. It's a hard screen. It's a wide-open layup, essentially.
And Griner on the repost is not able to convert the hook shot. It is Griner, Bonner, Turner, Taurasi, and Mitchell for Phoenix. Another 3 for Montgomery, which he misses short this time. Montgomery now 5 for 8 from the floor. And a 3-pointer for Phoenix, only their second of the game, converted by Mitchell.
Well, Mitchell is second right now in the entire WNBA. Coming into the game with 68 made 3-pointers on the season. She can't leave her wide open. If you're Atlanta and you want to stay in this game, yeah, you attack the hoop and finish those ones off. But on the other end, you've got to know your scout, and you have to continue to get stops.
Sykes with her first score of the night for Atlanta, and then Breland denying the ball from Griner. It does bounce out of bounds, so it'll stay with Phoenix.
Breland looked a little shaken up. Definitely took a hit, but that's what's required when you're in front of Brittany Griner, and that's just a nice take. Sykes on Taurasi. What I love about those two, they both hold the record tied at 22 points for a quarter. And Brittany Sykes did it recently at Phoenix.
Yeah, this is the 3rd time the Dream and Phoenix have met. Breland creating that steal. Montgomery then with the outlet, which is tipped by Taurasi, and it will stay with Atlanta. It was Phoenix 77-68 on August the 16th over the Dream, and 65-63 on July the 7th. Brittany Griner had 31 points in that game. Hayes with a long 2. Mitchell the rebound.
Well, Brittany Sykes in that first game, that 2-point game, had 29 points. And like I just said, 22 of those in the third quarter. So she is on Phoenix's scouting report, but 0 for 5 in the first half.
And Taurasi missing the three. Phoenix now 2 for 12 from three. Montgomery sends it up to Breland for Atlanta. Sykes moves it back to Williams. 9 to shoot now for the Dream. He's thought about it. 3 to shoot as Williams misses the hook shot. Breland, another offensive rebound. 13th of the game for Atlanta, and Sykes missing the three. Another offensive rebound, and Breland is blocked from behind by Griner. Third block of the night for Brittany Griner, who's second in the league in blocks.
Some serious length on length there, wow.
And then Griner able to draw the foul on Williams. First foul of the night for her.
Yeah, it's a tough offensive look for Atlanta, and then they come down on the other end, and Nikki Collin wanted to travel, but her team picks up the foul. Certainly a block. Looked like Nikki Collin was arguing that the pivot foot came up first.
It's a good feed by Mitchell down low to Bonner. Well defended by the Dream as Sykes brings it back. Dream down by 5 here early in the third quarter. And Montgomery getting the matchup on Mitchell with 5 to shoot. That's a good look for Williams. And it's just been that kind of night. A close-in shot, again, missed.
Yeah, and Williams is doing a great job setting some hard screens. Her guards are using it right. And you have to keep going to those and believe that the next one is going to fall because they're good looks.
Yeah, these are not tough shots. They're just unlucky as Griner with 5 to shoot is stuffed in the paint. The Dream leading the league in blocks with more than 5 per game. And that shot will not count. A technical foul has been called.
Technical, I believe they said Brittany Griner, and Griner's speaking with the official, frustrated. She thought she got hit at the other end.
And Montgomery makes the foul shot to make it a 4-point game. That's the second technical of the night for Phoenix. Let's see what happened.
Yeah, and you see Griner still vocalizing her displeasure to the official, which obviously you have to do in a respectful fashion. You appreciate the official saying, hey, enough's enough. At the same time, what I love the most about it, they talked about it. At least they had some sort of communication after the technical was called. You saw Griner walk away and say, okay, hey, you've got to play ball at the end of the day, Mike.
And then Hayes turns it over. So the Dream get 1 point out of that, and it's a 4-point lead for Phoenix midway through the third quarter. Camille Little has come into the game for the Mercury. Gulich and Billings now in for Atlanta. And it's Griner on Gulich. And Griner is able to convert for her 8th points of the night.
Yeah, she's put a lot of time in understanding quick looks with back to the basket. That time just a spin, reading the body of the defender.
Another turnover for Atlanta. Mitchell coming up with the steal. Diana Taurasi for 3. She has not made a shot tonight, has Taurasi 0 for 5 from the floor. Sykes now for the Dream to Billings.
Perfect pass, and Billings kept that in the air, and so it was a quick shot. Griner was close, but didn't have time to go for that block. That was just a perfect offensive read for the Dream.
Game kind of opening up a little bit now as Leilani Mitchell comes back and scores on the other end to give Phoenix the 6-point lead. And then a foul is drawn by Montgomery against Mitchell. So 2 fouls on Mitchell on the game. And it is the second of the third quarter for Phoenix.
I know Atlanta at times wants to have Montgomery play the 2 spot, running her off screens as a shooter. But tonight, she's doing such a great job at the point and just engaging contact and getting calls that way. She's going to have the ball in her hands, looks like, for the rest of this game.
Tiffany Hayes drawing the 3rd foul of the night on Camille Little. So now 2 shots here for Tiffany Hayes with an opportunity to cut this to a 4-point game. Hayes a 76% foul shooter. That's her first miss of the night.
Hayes held to 3 points right now on the game, and for Atlanta to be successful, they've needed her to score. She had a rough start to the season. She hurt her ankle, and it was probably worse than most people realized. So she couldn't explode and plant off her back legs and get to the rim. And it really, her season got off to a rocky start because of that. But it's been pretty good as of late finding the rim.
And a steal by Hayes. And Hayes makes it a 3-point Phoenix lead. They try to go back the other way to Griner, and it's Atlanta ball. And all of a sudden, it is a one-possession game. The Dream shooting only 23%, only down by 3. The assist of the game brought to you by State Farm, and how about this? Sykes to Billings.
Yeah, just on time, on target, perfectly placed. But I'll tell you what I love about it. Kids at home. You see Brittany Sykes' eyes up. Coaches, oh, you got to get on those kids to keep their eyes up so you can see that the entire time. Defense also had no idea that was coming.
This game has not been tied since 0-0. The Dream down by 3 out of this timeout. Tiffany Hayes with 8 to shoot. Tiffany Hayes drawing the foul.
Well, Tiffany Hayes is notorious for being able to find the rim. She's got the handle, but then she also just kind of slithers her body weight around through the key. And that's what happens. She takes a lot of hard hits because of it. She catches defenders out of position and often finds herself at the free throw line because of it.
And Hayes 2 for 3 from the foul line tonight. Now it is a 2-point game. Atlanta closes out its 2019 season at home. Sunday, September 8th against the New York Liberty. Join the Dream for Fan Appreciation Day starting at 4 p.m. at State Farm Arena. Get your tickets by calling 877-977-7729 or visit www.atlantadream.net. So Hayes makes both foul shots. It is a 1-point game. Phoenix is led by as much as 13. There is a 3 that rattles in for Leilani Mitchell, her second of the night.
Coming off a handoff, just falls right into a perfect position for the 3.
And now Hayes going to the rim. Griner making that very difficult. Little pulls down the rebound. And then Sykes picks off the pass intended for Turner. It's been a good third quarter for Sykes. Montgomery. Good look in the corner for Hayes, who goes baseline. Gulich. And Gulich misses the 3 short. Hayes almost got the rebound. It rolls to Bonner.
That was a big one, Mike. You felt the crowd get into it. That would have been a big hit for Atlanta.
Bonner has been a problem tonight for Atlanta. 10 to shoot here for Phoenix. Little And Gulich, in the same team situation with Sykes, Gulich has the rebound.
I've seen that a couple times tonight. Multiple Dream players getting caught up, both going for the rebound. So you have to appreciate that as a coach. You're always okay with that, and it shows that your team is still very engaged in winning basketball games.
Griner with the kick ball. Atlanta out-rebounding Phoenix 34-30. The offensive rebounding has been the story tonight for the Dream. They have 14. However, they have only 4 second-chance points. Dream out there with Sykes, Hayes, Montgomery, Gulich, and Billings. 13 to shoot. Here is Gulich, and Griner is able to pull it away from her. Bonner, Griner, Mitchell, Little, and Turner for Phoenix. And the three-pointer is good. So Turner puts the Mercury up by 7.
Yeah, Sykes. Decent position on the defensive end, but you got to get your hand up and at least just contest it. You're standing there. Nice cut from Hayes on the other end.
So Hayes starting to heat up now. She's got 10 points, second player in double figures. Dream trailing by 5. 2:33 to go in the third quarter. Mitchell looking for Griner. Gulich closes her down. Tough shot by Griner. And now she is in double figures.
Well, you get a pick and roll with those two, and if you're Sandy Brondello, you've got to believe that you're always going to get good looks out of a screen and roll option if you have a good ball handler who can shoot, and you've got Brittany Griner setting it. It's a nice two-man game.
Sykes with 7 to shoot for Atlanta. Sykes missing short. Turner pulls down the rebound. Turner, the second-year player out of Nebraska, is averaging 7 points per game, and she'll shoot for 3, and it'll be Atlanta ball. So Coffey and Cazorla will come in for Atlanta. Essence Carson in for Phoenix. As we're under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter, the Dream not out of this, trailing by 7. They've trailed by as much as 13 tonight and have never led.
And Nikki Collin again showing the faith in that second unit, with the exception of Renee Montgomery. This is that second unit out there in a very critical time for this game.
Gonna get Turner for the foul there. And that is 3 on her. First in the last 2 minutes for Phoenix. Cazorla to inbound for the Dream. Montgomery, 13 points all in the first half. Now here's Cazorla. Gulich. Montgomery with 8 to shoot. Renee Montgomery with the runner, missing strong. Griner the rebound. Well, after the Dream got to within 1, it's been all Phoenix here in the late minutes of the third quarter. Little, and the foul on Montgomery.
Yeah, and you know what? I think Atlanta has got to be somewhat realistic in understanding that they are going to have struggling to score slumps in games. It's been the season. They have got to sit down and get stops and understand how much attention has to go into the defensive end when they're in the midst of those slumps.
Well, and you know from your playing days, it takes so much energy and emotion to come back when you're down by so much, down by double digits, as Griner now has 12 points, and the Phoenix lead is up to 9.
And it's very hard to come back against any team that has that woman in Brittany Griner, because she can find a bucket on every possession if that's the direction that the Phoenix decides to go.
Essence Carson making it tough for Coffey. Nia Coffey, 5 to shoot. Billings, another miss for the Dream. 13 of 59 for the floor now. That's just 22%. Griner, Little, good ball movement to Carson. Phoenix can get a 2-for-1 here. They're down to 10 on the shot clock. Griner over Gulich, and Griner is getting hot now. Brittany Griner has 14 points.
And you see the reads she's making, one-on-one against Gulich, turning over the shoulder, hook on the previous possession. That time she faces up and hits a jumper.
Shot clock is off here. That's a three-pointer for Montgomery. And Montgomery pulls the Dream back to within 8. 16 points for her. Oh, a long bomb by Mitchell with still plenty of time on the clock. She misses, and The Dreamer not out of this yet, leading by 8, but Brittany Griner, the story in the third quarter for the Phoenix Mercury, up to 14 points on the game. Phoenix leading by 8.
I'm wondering.
Phoenix leads by 8 going into the fourth quarter. Griner had 8 points in the quarter for Phoenix.
And, you know, I'm an ex-post, and I just love watching her go to work because she's bigger than everyone. Of course but you know what? She does all the little things right.
This is there to begin the fourth quarter. It will stay with Phoenix.
Her footwork, her reads, she's put a tremendous amount of time in her career becoming better all the time. And you have to respect and appreciate that.
Mike Conti, Amy Audibert at State Farm Arena in Atlanta as Essence Carson nearly has it stripped in. Draws a jump ball. Phoenix has never trailed tonight. Remember, if they win this game, they clinch a playoff berth. They have led by as much as 13. Atlanta cut the lead down to 1 in the third quarter.
Yeah. Great hustle from Mia Coffey to get on the ground, and I almost thought her shoulder was going to come back the other way on that, but she went for it, kept her arm around the ball.
So it'll be Coffey and Carson at center circle for this jump ball with 9:41 to play. Coffey, Cazorla, Breland, Williams, Montgomery for Atlanta, and Cazorla has the ball.
And watch this possession. Atlanta has got to go to a ball screen with Brittany Griner. She sags screens, and that's why Montgomery had that look wide open. There it is right there. They've got to find something out of it. They're just looking to screen. What's that call there? Yeah, that's Diana Taurasi trying to get through the screen because that's not a situation that Phoenix wants to switch. It's a total mismatch. So there's going to be some good-looking shot out of a ball screen.
14 to shoot for Atlanta. They did look at Montgomery's 3 at the end of the third quarter and confirmed by replay that it was a 3. Cazorla. It's still Cazorla now down low, a good look, but Williams is unable to connect, and Brittany Griner with the rebound. So Diana Taurasi, who has played 19 minutes tonight, she's on a 25-minute restriction for Sandy Brondello, going down low to Griner again, and that's a good look by Griner out to Yvonne Turner, and Phoenix now leads by 11.
Yeah, if you're a guard on the court with Brittany Griner, you've got to make a decision. You can't get stuck in no man's land. You're either helping down or you're staying out on shooters. You can't get stuck on a late closeout.
And then Essence Carson blocks Coffey, and now the Mercury with a chance to tie their biggest lead of the night. Little and Taurasi, now Griner. They've really been feeding Griner here in the second half. Out of a double team. Carson Good ball movement to Taurasi. And then it's picked off. Renee Montgomery, 16 points or 17 points tonight for the Dream. She's the high scorer in this game. Baseline jumper is no good. Atlanta now 14 of 63 from the floor. That's just 22% on the night.
Again, a kick out off of guard penetration. That's a good look. Gotta put that down.
Camille Little rattles that in. Phoenix now tied for their biggest lead of the night, 13 points. So Atlanta in trouble, trying to extend this to a season-high 3-game winning streak. They won 2 in a row on the road, including in Dallas, 77-73 on Sunday. Breland misfiring, and Taurasi with the rebound. Diana Taurasi has not scored tonight. She's 0 for 5 from the floor. She'll go down to Griner, and the triple team works this time as Coffey comes up with the ball.
If I'm Phoenix, I want Taurasi to keep shooting that rock. You know, figure it out, get your rhythm, find your rhythm.
Cazorla got a good screen by Williams, and then Williams draws the foul on Little. So 2 foul shots coming up for the Dream with 7:12 to go in regulation. And that'll put Williams, who is a 75% foul shooter, on the line.
Yeah, Williams has got to continue to be physical and look for the call down low. Not hitting the layups, but she can hit the free throws. It's certainly going to help her case here.
It's only her second point of the night as Bentley comes in. Have a group of 10 or more. Save some money while enjoying a Dream game this summer. Call 877-977-7729 or visit atlantadream.net to learn more. So Williams makes them both, and it's back down to an 11-point lead for Phoenix here with 7:10 to go. Diana Taurasi throws it away. And you know what they say, if you can get the deficit down to single digits, you start to believe in yourself a little bit more. And Phoenix now has committed 18 turnovers on the night.
Yeah, this has been a game of opportunities for Atlanta because they certainly have them. They've taken 18 more shots. They've had 18 more looks at the rim than Phoenix.
Give away by Cazorla. Taurasi coming up with it. Diana Taurasi, Griner, and Williams fouls her.
You know what I love in this game for Maite Cazorla, though? She, on so many possessions in this quarter, she's been guarding Diana Taurasi. In the last game at home against Chicago, she was guarding fellow Oregon Duck Courtney Vandersloot. She is guarding some of the best players in the world on this stage as a rookie. She's been given those opportunities. So when you talk about Atlanta really starting to build and look towards the future, you have to appreciate the opportunities Maite's been getting. And she's been fun, and she's handled the pressure quite well, I'd say. 13
points for Cazorla tonight. Griner was able to score for Phoenix, and then back the other way, Atlanta is able to draw a foul. Nia Coffey. So it's a 13-point game again. Phoenix on top. And here's Coffey drawing the foul on Essence Carson.
Well, something positive for Atlanta is they feel they can run and get up and down the court and utilize that athleticism in transition type game. And that means they can score quickly if they're able to execute with a fast pace. They just have got to get that train going, Mike.
Alex Bentley, 4 to shoot now as Breland is in trouble and has to force it up. Williams almost with the rebound, and they call a loose ball foul on Phoenix. I think it's on Taurasi.
Yeah, Williams in there battling Griner and Taurasi. Tough, too. I mean,
two of the legends of the game, right?
Yeah, you look, and Taurasi, I thought, did a pretty nice job of just trying to force her out, but not happy with that call at all.
Nor is Sandy Brondello.
Face guarding the rebounder. That's always a tough one.
And Tiffany Hayes, her best drive to the goal tonight. Hayes now with 12 points, and the Dream are down by 11. Essence Carson going baseline for Phoenix, and she's rejected, but the ball rolls out to Taurasi. Yvonne Turner now with 8 to shoot. Taurasi, a deep three. And Bentley with the rebound. Diana Taurasi 0 for 6 tonight.
The Dream have got to have that stop-score mentality. There you go. You got your score, you got your stop, you got your score, Mike, and it's valuing each possession as its own.
So Bentley's first bucket of the night, and the Dream are down by 9 with 5:39 to go. Well, you can follow the Atlanta Dream all season long on social media, as this person is doing, no doubt. She might be on Insta, she might be on Twitter, she might be on Facebook. You can find the Dream on all three by following @Atlanta Dream. A kind of notable moment in my life tonight on social media. Amy put me on a boomerang, and that's the first time I've ever done that.
And you did it so well.
I did it in a way. I don't know if I did it well. Learning experience. I think that was also my first ever Instagram post. But, hey, we're learning here. 9-point Phoenix lead here, and they have the ball here with Diana Taurasi. Turner. And it is Bonner missing the three, and the Dream now can cut this to 7 or 6. They have never led tonight. They've been down by 13 a couple different times.
A contested three-point look. If you're Atlanta defensively, I think you're all right with that, as, Nia Coffey's going to get called with the charge.
Yeah, taking down Taurasi.
She's not happy with that at all.
First foul of the night for Coffey, the second foul here in the fourth quarter on Atlanta.
Nia Coffey's probably saying something in regards to, that's just the best player in the world. I'm a third-year player in the WNBA, but I didn't think that was the right call.
And then Taurasi on the other end is called for the foul. That is 5 now on Phoenix. They are over the limit the rest of the way. Fourth foul on Taurasi, and the Dream now in position when they inbound the ball here, where they're going to be shooting from the line every foul in the final 5 minutes. Down by 9. Ice cold from the floor. Just 24% tonight and still hanging in. Nia Coffey will go right at Taurasi with the fadeaway. Nia Coffey, and it's a 7-point game.
There we go. Nia Coffey, when she's confident, she's so fun to watch. She can play so many different positions on the court.
And the wide open three is missed by Turner. There was an incident under the basket, and now play is stopped as Nikki Collin calls timeout for Atlanta.
Yeah, and Tiffany Hayes taking a blow to her face. a couple weeks ago against Chicago, she was bleeding from her nose and had to miss the whole second half. So she was lucky she didn't break it. I think most people thought it was broken. We'll check in on her.
Looks like she'll be okay. And the Dream will need her down the stretch here as they trail 55-48 with 4:29 to go. We'll be back. Back live, here's Alex Bentley with Atlanta trailing by 7, 5 on the shot clock, and Bentley will crank up a 3, and it'll be Phoenix ball.
Yeah, I like Alex Bentley using the dribble to try to get her feet set. She's more efficient when she gets her dribble. It's kind of been the story for Alex Bentley tonight, just not able to put down the shots that she wants.
Now the Dream are going to have to get stops here, and they do get one there as Griner misfires. So Alex Bentley, Atlanta still down only by 7, and a jump ball is forced by Bonner. Let's go back to that play involving Tiffany Hayes below the basket, because it looked a little bit fishy to us in live action, and we didn't really get a clean look at it from our seat. The referees had a discussion about it and did not go to the monitor.
Yeah, and you know what? I will say it was definitely a hard hit, but Turner was planted. She had her arms though she was setting a screen, and Tiffany Hayes just didn't see it and got blindsided a bit. But I think it was a great job by the officials to talk about it and not slow the game down to discuss it over the replay.
And they call a jump ball violation on Bentley. That would have been a very tough one for her to win anyway against Bonner. Bonner is 6'4". Bentley listed at 5'7", so Phoenix has the ball here. Under 4 minutes to play.
But if there's somebody that believes they can win that one, it's AB, I'll tell you that.
Free on January. Turner. Loose ball, Coffee, and Montgomery comes up with it.
Oh, Mia Coffee with the swag on the box out too, gets down the other court.
Oh, and then Williams has to go through her hands.
That's the tough one, Mike. They have a numbers advantage and just turn it over.
Here's Brittany Griner with 15 to shoot for Phoenix, and Griner is stripped by Coffee, and they call Coffee for the foul. Third of the fourth quarter on Atlanta. Not going to give Griner shots.
When you're playing in somewhat close games late against Phoenix, you're at a disadvantage because Phoenix has Brittany Griner. You have to foul her to almost slow her down or stop her. The best thing you can hope for is she misses a field goal attempt.
And now another foul on Atlanta. This one's going to go on Coffey. And Coffey suddenly now has picked up 4 fouls. Both teams will be over the limit on the next foul. 2:57 to play. Diana Taurasi will put it in for Phoenix. She has struggled tonight, 0 for 6. That's a good look down low to Bonner, and then better defense by Breland.
Now, Breland's so long, and Bonner's probably one of the longest players in the league. You look at her arms and her length. But she was challenging another very long player who had the angle on that.
Bonner, Turner, Griner, Taurasi, and January for Phoenix, and now Atlanta is over the limit as Griner is able to draw the foul. Do they give continuation? No.
And you know what's interesting? I thought the 2 Atlanta players were the ones that collided with each other on that. I don't know if Brittany Griner got hit, and that's the one you see Nikki Collin in the top of your screen getting a little bit more frustrated with because, you know, sometimes you're just going to have to foul Brittany Griner. You've got to do it. But this is a tough one for Atlanta because they look like it was their own teammates that collided, and you're putting BG on the free throw line. She hits those.
Yeah, one of the things I really appreciate about Griner is, for a big, she is such a good foul shooter. 82% on the year, 3 for 3 tonight. She's going to draw a lot of fouls in the WNBA, obviously, because of her size, and she's able to make her foul shots. It makes it very, very difficult to stop her.
And whether you have a pretty natural rotation on your shot or not, free throws, you get in the gym and you get up reps. That's a player who understood that, hey, you can't stop me.
Montgomery misses the 3 short. That's a rebound by Williams, who's able to put it in. First field goal of the night for Elizabeth. And it'll be Hayes coming in to replace Bentley for Atlanta. Bentley with 10 on the night. Hayes has played 21. Breland, Williams, Hayes, Montgomery, and Coffey out there for Atlanta. Diana Taurasi, Brittany Griner. Good kick out to January, and now Bonner for 3. Phoenix ball.
Atlanta got lucky off that missed field goal because they doubled down but then got caught watching on the rotation of the ball. As soon as that ball gets popped off of Brittany Griner in the post, you have got to move and recover. And it's going to be a scramble, and you might even have a mismatch. But you have got to be present on the catch late game, and you have to get stops.
Camille Little back in for Phoenix. Here's Griner, and Coffey almost had the strip. But instead, it's her 5th foul.
And Nikki Collins so frustrated. Again, I understand that case. I think, yeah, Brittany Griner, there was some contact, but Nia Coffey was squared up, and that ball was down. That ball was not above the shoulders of 6'9". Nia Coffey, if she would have flopped, she would have been positioned to take that charge. So I'm not sure how that is, unless they called the hand check. Listen, I have the utmost respect for officials. It is a tough job. I don't believe that that was the right call.
That's a big call, too, because it's only a 7-point game with 2:06 to go, and Griner gets 2 more foul shots out of it. 18 points on the night for Griner, a team high. 5 fouls on Coffey with 2:06 to go.
And a little tea time chat with the Yukon Huskies. Taurasi Montgomery and Tiffany Hayes having a chat above the free throw line. And
Griner misses her first foul shot. Either way, it's still going to be a 3-possession game here with a little more than 2 minutes to play. Griner now 5 for 6 from the foul line tonight. It's an 8-point game. Montgomery, 17 points, but only 4 here in the second half for Atlanta. Coffey. Nia Coffey. Late contact, doesn't draw the foul. It's Breland underneath, and it will remain with Atlanta. They reset the shot clock. So a fresh 24 with 1:48 to play.
Yeah, that's just a scramble underneath, but you almost have the you get the sense, Mike, that Atlanta has got to score on this possession. They have to convert. They have to get something out of this possession. Under the 2-minute mark.
And I think they're going to go to the monitor now. They reset the shot clock. That's one thing they might want to look at. The other thing, too, was it off January or was it off of Atlanta? So this is a critical replay now with under 2 minutes to play. I thought it might not have actually been off January, and the crew chief, Mike Price, goes to the monitor for a very important review. The player of the game brought to you by Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, and when the Dream got down by 13 in the first half, it was Renee Montgomery who almost single-handedly kept the Dream in it. We mentioned at one point her team was 3 of 34 from the field, and she was 4 for 6. Slowed down a little bit here in the second half, but a 17-point night is a good night for someone who averages under 9 points per game.
Yeah, she had to step up and score for them to even compete tonight. But it's the intangibles that come along with Renee Montgomery that I think are the most important that she brings. And, of course, first one in row to look at the play that coach is drawing up, but that's because when they're on the court, you often see her communicating with the teammates and directing her fellow Dream players what to do. She's so encouraging, super positive individual to be around, and Atlanta has needed that so much this season.
So Phoenix, a minute and 48 away from punching a ticket to the playoffs for the 7th straight year. This would also be their 4th win in their last 6 tries. And it would be 2-0 on this East Coast road trip, which ends in Chicago before they play their final 3 games at home. The Dream starting to run out of home games. They have 2 left on the 5th of September against Las Vegas and the 8th of September against New York. They will go out to the West Coast this weekend to play at Seattle and Los Angeles. 7 wins on the year. Trying to get to double digits on the season. They would have to win 3 of their last 5 to do that.
And get a look at Diana Taurasi, 37 years old. You know, she was 36 years old last year, and there's 4 professional basketball players to average over 20 points a season while they're 36 or older. So she joins Karl Malone, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, and Kobe Bryant to do that. So when you talk about who you're looking at right now, I mean, and I don't know how you can be a women's basketball fan and not be so passionate about what she's done for our sport. She's so fun to watch.
7 on the shot clock after that review. That is amazing company for Taurasi to be in. Struggle to get it in, but it finds its way to Breland. 5 to shoot for Tiffany Hayes, and she'll go to the line.
All right, so Atlanta getting something out of that possession. You hope she converts and they get points, but if anything, they're slowing it down for a second and they're having a high percentage scoring opportunity.
Phoenix over the limit. It's inconsequential now. Both teams are over the limit with 1:44 to go. But the Dream's ability to score here with the clock stop can be critical.
And Phoenix also can clinch tonight. If they didn't win this game, if Indiana and Dallas both lose their games, and right now, Los Angeles is at Indiana, only up 6 in the about 4 minutes left in the game. So that's a pretty close game too. The other game started a little bit later, so it's not quite as into it.
14 points now for Hayes. It's a 6-point game as we come down to 90 seconds to play. Dream need a stop. January, Bonner, Griner, double team. January, Hayes almost took it away. January to Mitchell. Down to Little. Bonner, whose ball? Atlanta's. And the Dream are still in this year with 1:24 to go.
Hey, that ball gets moving around that quickly, and you get the sense that the defensive pressure is wearing down on Phoenix a bit. Just a little fumble, that's all it takes.
Brianna Turner comes in for Phoenix. Renee Montgomery back in for Atlanta. Time running short here. The Dream, 18 of 72 from the floor, just 25%, but they still have a chance. Tiffany Hayes. Wild shot, and it'll be Phoenix ball.
Well, taking on Breon January one-on-one, even though Tiffany Hayes, I'd say, is one of the better offensive one-on-one players in the league. She's going against one of the best defensive players in the league, January 4-time all-defensive team.
Down to a minute to go now. Bonner drawing Coffee. Griner again drawing a double team. Griner out of the corner. Mitchell. Breland the rebound. Just 50 seconds to play though. Tiffany Hayes for Atlanta. Hayes all the way in. And her pass is blocked and stolen by Turner. And with 36 seconds to go, Atlanta has to foul. Oh.
And Phoenix played that defensively in that Hayes got under the hoop and it became a sea of orange and a lot of arms. And it was, of course, the rookie Turner that came up with that deflection. And how about that for Sandy Brondello? Try to get all your vets back into it and healthy, and your rookie steps up and makes that play so late defensively.
So 2 shots here for Leilani Mitchell, her first foul shots of the game. 88% foul shooter is Mitchell, and that makes it a 3-possession game now with just under 37 seconds to play. So Phoenix, so close to the playoffs now they can taste it. Nia Coffey for Atlanta, a 3. And the Dream are not out of it yet, trailing by 5. And a timeout is called by Phoenix. Nia Coffey's first 3 of the night for the Dream. It's only their third 3-point field goal of the night.
Well, Nia Coffey in her first 2 seasons in the WNBA shot a total of 9 threes. Coming into tonight, she's shot 54 this season. And so coming into this system in Atlanta where they like to run and gun and they like to, they encourage their players to take that shot. Nia Coffey has added that into her game, and you see the confidence of that. That's a high-level read. Coming off the screen, got space, you've got to let that one go. So Nia Coffey has really been coachable in the system that she's her first year here in Atlanta.
Here's the reality, though, for the Dream. Phoenix is second in the league in team foul shooting at 86%. You're going to be playing the foul game now, and that is not good for Atlanta.
No, but you've got to give yourself a chance. You've got to stop that clock at least. And, if they pick up 2 and you're able to hit a 3, right, you close the gap a little and extend the game. But, your heart in some ways breaks for the Dream again, because this has happened so much this season where even tonight, not pretty, the shooting's not there, but they hang in games, and then it just comes to a couple big possessions, a couple big breaks, and it's tough. I mean, can you imagine being at this point in your season and still playing these games? And so while Coach of the Year last year, Nikki Collin, you've got to just appreciate the effort to remain positive and coach your players through this whole season.
Sandy Brondello has her good foul shooters on the floor, and it will be Mitchell going to the line. Mitchell, January, Bonner, Turner, and Griner for Phoenix. So at least the foul came quickly for Atlanta. And now it'll be Mitchell, who's 2 for 2 from the foul line tonight, shooting 2 here for the Mercury.
And what I love about Leilani Mitchell is she's in her 11th season in the WNBA. This year, averaging career highs in points, in rebounds, and in assists.
How about that?
Had to step up and do a little bit more. What Sandy Brondello loves most about the fellow Australian is she said, I love that she's 5'5". Young women hear all the time, they're too small to do it.
Goes 1 for 2, big rebound. Breland's got it. 6-point game. Montgomery to make it 1 possession. Yes! And it's a 3-point game now with 20 seconds to go.
Joanna Bonner tried. I think she saw the eyes up and said, oh no, that's not who we want taking that shot. Leapt for it, but it's too late. Unshakable belief in Renee Montgomery that one's going in. Yeah. I will say has hit the most half-court shots and shoot-arounds and kind of lives for those moments.
So 20 points now for Renee Montgomery. That's 3 shy of her season high. And the Dream have it to within 3 with 20 seconds to go. Atlanta is out of timeouts. Phoenix has 1 timeout remaining, and the Dream with Breland, Williams, Hayes, Montgomery, and Coffey. Coffey has 5 fouls. Keep that in mind in a situation where they're going to have to foul. And it will be Bonner to put it in now for the Mercury. Still plenty of time left, 20 seconds.
And Atlanta made the decision not to pressure the ball, but to get that quick foul. Didn't even go for the 5-second call. wanted to make sure they got hands on a player automatically.
And it is Coffey fouling out with 19.6 seconds to go. So, 2 foul shots here for the Mercury. It will be January on the line. Her first foul shots tonight.
Well, Coffey comes out, but Alex Bentley believes the next one's going in too, right? And so if you're Atlanta and you're the Dream and you're the fan, do you believe the next one's going in too? But Nia Coffey I thought she played very nice tonight. I thought she went out there, she was on the floor, she had some really nice blockouts, hit that big 3. A lot of little things very well in a big way.
So if you're Nikki Collin, you're probably hoping that January at best splits this. January, 87% foul shooter. And now it's a 4-point game, a 2-possession game. Phoenix on top. Tenth-year player out of Arizona State makes it a 5-point Phoenix lead. And now the Mercury call their final timeout. Well, stranger things have happened. 19.6 seconds is still a lot of time. The Dream will need to get a 3 and a 2 and a stop somehow. We mentioned that Phoenix, now 19.6 seconds away from going to the playoffs. They will be the number 8 seed. Still a little bit of room for movement here in the top 5 coming into today. Washington not quite home yet to get the number 1 overall seed.
How fun is this next week and a half going to be? I mean, the chase to get those top 2, you get a bye all the way to the semis. You get an opportunity to rest, and then even below that, home court advantage in a single elimination game it's invaluable.
Here's Tiffany Hayes for Atlanta. Williams and Griner with the block. What do we have here? I guess it will remain Atlanta ball with 13.6 seconds to go and the shot clock is off.
Yeah, and Nikki Collins trying to find out what the whistle was for, too. The official kind of signaled a tip. Now it's a block. And
it is Breland. Breland for 3. Griner the rebound. 10 seconds to go, and Griner is fouled by Williams. And now the odds are very, very long for Atlanta to extend this winning streak to 3. This is quite an accomplishment, though, for Phoenix, Amy, considering in the middle of an East Coast trip at the end of the season, clearly did not play well by their standards tonight, shooting only 38%, only 5 of 23 from 3, but on the road, finding a way to close this game out.
yeah, and like we already talked about, Mike, Phoenix, I believe, had 2 focuses coming in. Of course, to win the game, but also to get players going and healthy again. Diana Taurasi taking 6 was more important to me than her not making any of them, because she's got to start getting those game reps up and getting up and down the court. And Essence Carson getting in there and playing 11 minutes and getting her legs even just a little bit more back. And so they walk away with a win, possibly, and then the opportunity to also do those things. That's 2 big check marks.
And Griner now has 21, which is right at her season average, a little over, the leading scorer in the league, second in the league in blocks. Griner will end the year, unless she scores again, in 2 games played against Atlanta because she was suspended for 1. She ends with 52 points scored over 2 games against the Dream this year. I think a lot of WNBA teams would be in line with that.
I was going to say, that probably isn't her season high against a team this year.
Her season high is 34 in any game.
Well, combined.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. Yeah.
I would like to see the totals against some of the other teams that she's put up. She's just incredible to watch.
8 seconds to go. Tiffany Hayes. And that is the last punch to be thrown by Atlanta tonight.
And you know what? Nothing shows up on the box score for Griner on that. But maybe Hayes, you could say, probably got a little bit flustered with 6'9", very big in front of her on that drive.
The Phoenix Mercury lead wire to wire tonight, and they're going back to the playoffs for the 7th consecutive year. What a job by Sandy Brondello navigating all of these injuries, all the games lost by Essence Carson and Diana Taurasi to injury. And this is a team that I guarantee you no one is going to be excited to see, even at home in the postseason.
Yeah, their experience and then just getting comfortable building cohesion and chemistry. Here we go.
Phoenix now 15-15, 6-10 on the road. The Dream fall to 7-23, 4-11 at home. So the Atlanta Dream fall at home to the Phoenix Mercury tonight. Final score 65-58. So for our producer Matt Sims, our analyst Amy Audebert, and I'm Mike Conti saying so long from Atlanta, Georgia. For the final score is Phoenix 65, Atlanta 58. For more information around the league, log on to WNBA.com or download the WNBA app. This has been a presentation of the WNBA.
Trouble. They understand how to use their length around Griner.
Up and under there for DeWanna Bonner, 9th year.
Foul trouble. They understand how to use their length around Griner.
Up and under there for DeWanna Bonner, 9th year. Phoenix averaging almost 77 points per game this year, which is 8th in the league, and there is Griner to make it 4-0 in favor of the Mercury.
Right.
Phoenix averaging almost 70 points per game this year, which is 8th in the league, and there is Griner to make it 4-0 in favor of the Mercury.
He wants them to run, find some rhythm in transition, and some good scoring opportunities.
Hayes and one, and now the ice is broken for the Dream.
Wants them to run, find some rhythm in transition, and some good scoring opportunities.
Hayes and one, and now the ice is broken for the Dream. The now comes up with a rebound. Hayes to Gulich, and it's down to a 4-point game. Hayes now comes up with a rebound. Hayes to Gulich, and it's down to a 4-point.